This next segment, we're going to talk about alignments and splits. Okay, we use a very simple system. Okay, I'm going to play center. Nick here is going to play guard. Okay, and what we do is, I have the ball right here on the center, and in the huddle call, or the lineman will know based on the play of where to line up. Okay, we use a very simple system. The splits are determined just by a simple number. So if we call 1, Nick's going to give about a 1-foot split. If I call 2, it's going to be a 2-foot split. So he's going to bump out a little bit wider. If we call 3, it's a 3-foot split. Okay, bump out a little bit wider. Good. Okay. So based on what splits we want to use, okay, it's either going to be 1, 2, or 3. Now in very rare cases, we may go 4, but that's really only used for the tight end. The reason why we want to split the tight end out to a 4, or what we call a flex position, is to help him get off the line of scrimmage. A lot of times, defenses will have a linebacker come up, head up on that line, or hit up on that tight end, and they'll try to jam him at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Now, if Nick's the tight end and I'm a tackle, and he has a defensive linebacker right there in front of him, it's going to be very hard for him to release on a pattern. Okay, it's very hard for him to release inside because there's a lot of congestion and traffic with other linemen and linebackers and D linemen in here. Okay, but by flexing him out wide, a big 4-foot split, okay, now he's on an island with that linebacker. He can go either inside or outside. Okay, it gives that tight end a much bigger advantage when he's flexed out like that. Okay, there's not a whole lot of times that you want to flex your tight end out there, but there are certain situations that you do. Game plan scenario, if you notice that your tight end maybe is going to struggle with a really good linebacker, okay, so you want to flex him out there. Okay, or if you want to get your tight end in the passing game, use him more for that, then you can flex him out as well. Okay, come on back down, Nick. Okay, so those are the splits, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, as far as the actual alignment, okay, we just call it like it is. Okay, so if it's 3rd and 1, we want our lineman up close to the crowd and the ball. We'll say 1 ball. So that means 1-foot split, and his head, when he gets down in his stance, wants to be dead even with this football right here. So we're right here. His head is dead even with that football. Okay, that's a 1-ball alignment. Now, if we call 1 elbow, he's going to back up, so his head is even with my elbow. Okay, we always go off the center's body. So if it's 1 ball, it's the center's where he's holding the ball. If it's 1 elbow, it's the center's elbow. If we call 1 knee, 1 hip, 1 shoelace, it doesn't matter. You can call whatever it is you want. Okay, if we call 1 hip, now his head is going to line up on my hip right here. We can call 2 hip, we can call 3 hip. There's all kinds of combinations you can use. Legally, about as far back as we can go. Even some officials will call that in the backfield. In this segment here, we're going to talk about explosive get-offs. Okay, this is one of the most important things for an offensive lineman. Okay, when they're in their stance, the quicker they can get out of their stance and make contact with the defensive lineman, the better. That's what we're going to focus on right now. Okay, the reason why explosive get-offs are so important, you have your defensive lineman coming at you as well. They're trying to get off the blocks. They're trying to get to the ball carrier. The quicker you can get on that defensive lineman, the more advantage you're going to have as an offensive lineman, the less advantage he's going to have as a defensive lineman. Okay? So if Nick is on offense and I'm on defense, he's going to come at me and make contact. I'm going to come at him and make contact. Now, at that point of contact, there's a collision. Okay? And at that moment of the collision, there's a very brief stalemate. Okay? Just picture 2 rocks coming together, 2 trucks coming together, 2 of anything coming together to make a collision. There's a very brief stalemate there. Whoever wins that next battle is going to most likely win that battle in the trenches. Okay, so if we're coming at each other right here, okay, and we collide right here, there's that first initial collision. Whoever recovers fastest from that collision is most likely going to win this battle. Okay, so if he stuns me and I go back like that, and he gets stunned too, and he gets back, if he's able to get in his demeanor and recover much quicker than me, he's going to win that battle. Okay, so here's the collision right here. Okay, we both stun each other. I'm back. He recovers quicker. Now he starts to block before I can recover, and that's what you want. Okay. Now there's not always going to be a major collision. There's not always going to be that whiplash, but there will be some form of force colliding with each other. Okay, so we want to be able to recover from that as quickly as possible. Okay, we're able to do that by, number 1, getting out of our stance in a very explosive manner. The more force we have out of our stance, the better off we're going to be. Okay, that's just simple physics. If he comes out of his stance quicker, harder, and faster with more explosive power than I do, he's going to win that battle. Okay, but if we come out at the same force, the same speed, the same quickness, the same everything, there's going to be that collision there, and then it's a battle of who can recover the fastest. Okay, so what we're going to do here, Nick, we're going to go ahead and get in, show me a 3-point heavy stance. Okay, he's just going to work on exploding out of his stance as quick as he can. He's going to push off the insteps of his feet and accelerate out as fast as he can. He's looking through his eyebrows, and he wants to stay below my hand. Set, go. Now, by coming below my hand, okay, he's ensuring that when he comes out of a stance, he has good balance, power, and leverage, good demeanor, good everything. He's maximizing that force coming out of his stance. If he comes out of his stance too high like this, he exposes his chest. Anytime a lineman, offense or defense, exposes his chest, he makes himself vulnerable. Okay, we don't want that. Not only does he make himself vulnerable, but as he comes out, okay, his hips come forward, his balance goes backwards, he loses his power, he loses his momentum, he loses all that force that could have been gained by coming out flat out of his stance. Come on back, Nick. Okay, so when Nick comes out of his stance here, he wants to make sure he stays underneath my arm here. Okay, his back wants to stay flat. He's just going to take a small 6 to 8 inch step. Okay, he doesn't want to take a big step because, again, that's going to knock him off balance. All right, here we go, Nick. Set, go. Good. Follow through. Good. There you go. Okay. The reason why we want to take just smaller steps, 6 to 8 inches, okay, is this. If I'm in my stance and I take a big step like that, okay, go ahead. Tap my shoulder, Nick. Nick can easily push me over and I'll fall down. Good defensive linemen pick up on that real quickly. Okay, they watch it in film. They see a big, long strider like that. Man, that's an easy target. All they have to do, a quick swim move, a quick push-pull, anything like that, and they're gone onto the ball carrier or for a sack. Okay, so anytime we come out of our stance, we want short, choppy steps. Okay, remember that demeanor drill? Same thing. Everything is short, choppy steps. Same thing when you come out of your stance. I come out of my stance, it's a short, choppy step, just like that. Weight's always on the instep. Okay, that ensures that I can move any direction I want with good power. Okay, one more time, Nick. Here we go. Explode out of your stance, full speed. Here we go. Set, go. There you go. Good. The other thing, coaches, that you can do, anytime you do a drill, like I tell Nick here, you want to anticipate the snap count. If I go on set, go, okay, when Nick comes out of a stance, he wants to start coming out of a stance on go. Okay, so set, go, and boom, he's out of his stance by the time I say, oh. Okay, let's try that, Nick. That's very important for explosive get-offs. Okay, so he's going to anticipate when I say go, he's going to fly out of his stance as quick as he can. Ready, set, go. There you go. Okay, anticipate the snap count, whatever you go on. Hut, go, set, whatever the case may be, anticipate that snap count. Get as quick out of that stance as you possibly can. That'll give you the advantage that you need against that defensive lineman.